Okay, so the title of this video is Should You Invest While in Debt? Let's break that down real simple. Imagine you're a kid and you borrowed $5 from your sibling last week. Now your allowance comes in, another $5, and you're staring at it thinking, do I pay them back right away or do I stash this in your piggy bank hoping it grows into more somehow? That's the question here. Debt is money you owe, like on a credit card or a loan. And investing is putting cash somewhere it might grow, like stocks or a savings account. The big wonder is, if you're still paying off what you owe, does it make sense to try growing money on the side? That hits home for a lot of us, right? Like checking your bank balance and seeing red, but dreaming about building something for later. My name is Praku, and I spend way too much time thinking about why money feels confusing even when people try to do the right thing. Look, here's a common money belief that frustrates me a bit. Adults love to say, pay off every single debt before you even think about investing. It's like this golden rule you hear everywhere, debt-free first, then save or invest. But honestly, it doesn't always work that way. It depends on the kind of debt. If your debt is charging you high interest, like 20% on a credit card, yeah, that rule makes sense because it's like a fire burning your money. But if it's low interest stuff, say a mortgage at 3% or 4%, investing might actually grow your money faster than the debt costs you. The myth ignores the math and the real world, and it keeps people stuck paying forever without building anything.
Okay, let's look at some numbers to make this real. Nothing fancy, just stuff from places like the World Bank and behavioral studies. First, in the US right now, in 2026, the average person with credit card debt owes about $6,500. That's like buying a used car on plastic and then watching interest pile up each month, maybe $100 or more just vanishing. It means a ton of folks are quietly losing money every day without realizing how fast it adds up. Second, total credit card debt across the whole country is over $1.2 trillion. Trillion with a T. Picture this. If you divided that up, it's like every adult chipping in around $7,000. Everyday meaning, we're a nation where borrowing for basics or wants has become normal, but it sneaks up and traps people in cycles of just paying minimums. And third, about 47% of credit card users carry a balance from month to month, paying that high interest. Translate that, almost half of us are choosing or forced to let debt linger, often because life hits with bills or emergencies. It's not laziness, it's how money myths make us think minimum payments are okay, but they're really just feeding the interest beast. Here's the confusing part. Let's do some simple math to see why the debt first always rule isn't always right. Imagine you owe $1,000 on a credit card at 20% interest. That's common. Average rates are around 19 to 20% these days. If you don't pay it down, that debt costs you $200 a year in interest alone. Now, suppose you have an extra $1,000 sitting around. You could pay off the debt and save that $200. Or you could invest it in something like the stock market, where the average return over time is about 10%. That's based on the S&P 500's track record, around 13 to 15% yearly over the last decade. But let's be conservative at 10% for 2026 expectations. So step by step, invest $1,000 at 10%, and you might make $100 in a year. But if you ignore the debt, you're still losing $200 on interest. Net, you're down $100 overall. Better to pay the debt. It's like earning a guaranteed 20% return by avoiding that cost. Now flip it. Say your debt is a student loan at 5% interest, costing $50 a year on $1,000. Invest that $1,000 at 10%, make $100. Net gain, $50 ahead. See, the numbers decide, not the rule. We go slow like this because money homework felt overwhelming at first for me too. But money isn't just numbers. Emotions mess with it big time. Think about fear. There's this thing where we hate losing money way more than we love gaining it. Like, if you owe $100, it feels like a heavy weight on your back, scarier than the chance to turn 100 into 110. Story time. I knew a guy who paid off his low-interest car loan super fast, even though he could have invested and come out ahead. Why? The debt just bugged him every day, like a nagging reminder he wasn't free. That's loss aversion. Our brains amplify the pain of debt. Then there's habits and comparison. We see friends posting vacations or new gadgets on social media, and it tricks us into thinking, I deserve that too, so we charge it without thinking. Impulsivity kicks in. Bam, more debt. One study from behavioral economics shows impulsive people are way more likely to struggle with repayments because the now feels urgent, like grabbing candy at checkout even if you're broke. And fear of missing out, that's real. When markets are up, like the S&P hitting new highs in 2026, you might think, I should invest even with debt. But emotions make us chase highs and ignore the steady path. It's like kids trading lunch items, exciting in the moment, but you end up with junk. You might be thinking, but what if the market crashes? Isn't debt safer to tackle first? Fair point. Markets do dip, remember 2022, but over time they trend up. If your debt interest is lower than average returns, history says investing wins. Diversify, don't bet big. Or that sounds too simple, is there a catch? Yeah, kinda. Taxes, fees, your risk comfort, they matter. And emergencies, don't invest if you need cash soon. But it's not rocket science, it's just comparing costs.
Let me give you one clear picture to hold on to. Think of your money like buckets of water. Debt is a leaky bucket. The interest is the hole dripping out. If the leak is huge, like high-interest credit cards, plug it first before adding more water. No point pouring in if it's gushing out faster. But if the leak is tiny, say a slow drip from a mortgage, you can add water, invest, while patching slowly. The goal? Full buckets without wasting a drop. Okay, so what can you actually do? No pressure, just gentle steps. First, list your debts and their interest rates. Grab a notebook or app. Simple as that. Second, compare those rates to what investments might give. Stock market averages 7 to 10% after inflation. Use that as a benchmark. If debt rate higher, pay it down extra each month. Even $20 helps. Third, build a small safety net first. 1 month's bills and savings. Then, if debt is low cost, start investing tiny amounts like $50 auto transfer to a low-fee index fund. And fourth, track one habit. Before buying, ask, does this add debt or peace? No perfection needed, just progress. Look, you've got this. Money isn't a race or a scorecard to beat others. It's a tool for calm, for knowing you can handle a flat tire or a quiet weekend without stress. In 2026, with rates settling and markets steady-ish, focus on control. Pay what hurts most, grow what you can, and breathe. It felt confusing for me at first too, but slowing down makes it make sense. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment if this clicked. See you next time.